Hello and welcome to Draelith. This is a Daggerheart game I am playing with two of my friends. We are streaming it every Friday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. And these first few sessions I'll be uploading will be more of a prologue as we're trying to find our footing, one in Foundry Virtual Tabletop, a new program that none of us have used to be able to play this game, as well as Daggerheart. None of us have ever played Daggerheart, so we'll be learning how that is working. And Draelith itself, the world we've created and the characters inside it, they're all brand new. We're not really working on any written story that I have had in the past. So over the course of the months of playing this game is when we really developed the world. I put a lot more effort into writing it and ironing out how I wanted the world to interact with Poppy and Clay, my friends' characters. So I hope you enjoy, and please mind the clunkiness. We really get into our own as the story goes on, and we get more comfortable with the systems and playing around with different artwork and parts of Foundry that are a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching.
And so it begins. Boys and gals, clays and poppies. Where you guys are is on your way, on the path to the scar-lined forest. Poppy, you had talked to a nearby elder in a forest, in a village, who gave you a lot more information about this forest. Essentially, this is a forest in which there have been scars left behind, and this scar magic has started to leave a corruption and infect the earth. Now, this magic immediately drew your attention, even though the elder, Muriel, was severely superstitious and warned you against approaching. You, unable to traverse normal forest events by yourself, you decided to hire someone. You hired a local tracker, Clay. You had some previous dealings with him in the past. He had saved your hide, so you trusted him. You figured he'd be a good pickup. And he's not afraid to tell you what you need to do when it comes to getting things done. So now you two are traveling along the road as you are starting to approach the forest. You haven't really seen it quite yet, but you're making your way there.
Making my way downtown to the forest. Gonna find all that magic.
Man, it sure is cold out here. I wish I had a shirt.
Well, I can't give you my coat. Then I'll be cold, and then what will we do?
Fair enough.
Just do jumping jacks while we walk.
I think that is a terrible idea.
Or
Probably get us noticed pretty quick.
you could carry me.
I'm not going to do that.
I'm like about the size of a coat.
And you also weigh probably as much as a coat. But
Yeah, like a
I've
weighted
never
blanket.
worn a sentient coat before.
Yeah, and then if anyone sees, it'll look like you hunted me.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to carry you. You can walk yourself.
Yeah, I could.
Let's see here. So,
Oh,
Do you
before
know
I
which,
forget, I'm totally giving you a talisman right now. Put this in your pocket.
all right.
Never let it go. And if you reach into your pocket later and it's crumbled into dust, don't worry.
I'm going
It just
to
mean it
worry.
worked.
As
No,
you
no, no.
guys are talking, you start to see the tree line in the distance. The tree line
Ooh.
rises ahead, thick and dark. as if the forest is holding its breath. Where healthy woods should be humming with bird song, you should hear cicadas, all of this life. These trees stand in absolute silence. Their bark, as you get closer, you start to see black scars pulsing faintly like dying embers under skin.
I guess we're in the right place.
A sour wind
Remind me again of what it is we're looking for.
pushes out from the forest. It carries
Ooh.
the smell of damp earth, iron, and something acrid, like a lightning strike on a corpse.
Yeah, that's it. We're looking for that effed up S.
That smell?
Yeah. Anything that makes you feel like you're about to die. Or that something beat you to it.
Lay, as you're walking around, you notice and are affected by this forest silence. You have been in nature for so long that this is the first time you've ever felt the missing bird calls, this unnatural stillness, and looking around and examining the tracks. And there are some tracks, but none of them seem to behave like normal beasts. And as you're looking around, you start to hear something. Something similar, something familiar, something that gives you a sense of home. You start to hear a faint wind chime-like sound in the distance.
I mean, I would know that I'm pretty far away from home, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You just,
So-
wind chimes were a thing that were a common trinket in your home, in your valley.
So it just kind of gave me a flashback for a second.
Yes, and it gave you that warm, comfortable feeling of sitting on the porch with your mother as she's knitting a patch in your clothes as you got back from a hunt.
Not my shirt, though.
Of course.
Not yet. You haven't earned a shirt.
I don't think I want a shirt from you.
I can sew.
Good to know. I'll file that one away.
I shouldn't have said anything.
But what we need to do is get a move on. If we keep standing out here, something's going to happen.
Or nothing, which would be worse.
I don't know. It kind of depends on the something.
True. Which is why you go first.
Okay. I guess we're going to head east.
As you
I
guys...
thought you said west.
As you guys start traveling along, you start to notice there's some soft glow moving in the trees.
Are we talking one individual glow, or are we talking like a shower of fireflies?
Well, that is quite accurate. At first, you sort of see one glow, and it dissipates. Then another. Like fireflies, but much more huddled together, not so separated and sporadic through the field when they do pop up. They're pretty close.
Everything inside of me is fighting. I don't want to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Can you believe your eyes right now?
Oh my God.
You start to notice
You should pick me up.
as you naturally felt yourself walking towards them. The moment you got closer, they vanished.
Don't like that.
Oh, I'm running. I'm chasing him.
All right.
Oh, wait, no, don't. I
Here I
strongly
go.
advise that you don't do that.
Gotta catch one.
I'm going to catch you. Poppy's wearing a shirt, right?
Yeah.
Mostly.
I'm going to grab her by the collar.
As you
Okay,
go,
Yoink.
not having a shirt was a survival tactic.
are you going to try to dodge that, or are you just going to let him?
Nah, he can grab me.
From this point on, if someone says they're doing something to one of each other, and you want to deflect it, anything like that, let me know, or I'm gonna just keep it flowing, keep it going. It happens, yada yada yada.
Okay,
Based.
fair enough.
I pee on him. No, I'm kidding.
I move my leg.
You run up and you grab Poppy by her collar and just pull her down to the ground. And Poppy, as you get pulled down to the ground, you look in front of you, just where you were about to step, and you notice a patch of grass. It kind of looks alive. The blades are twitching towards you before lying flat.
Oh, we're poking it with my stick.
You take out your staff, you reach out towards the grass, and you start to see, as you get close, the blades of the grass starts tingling. They start all coming together sort of at a point where that staff is about to touch them. And the moment your staff makes contact with the tips of these blades of grass, you watch as it all turns to ash and disappears.
Would Clay have experienced anything like this in prior treks throughout the forest, or perhaps in other forests, other biomes?
Go ahead and roll for me.
Ooh.
You can add any if you have any experience. I don't know if you guys have experience yet, but you can add.
We do have 2 experiences at level 1. However, I don't believe either of mine would be applicable here.
Then go ahead and just give me a roll. The first roll of the game.
Let's see. This will be a knowledge roll to recall, analyze, and comprehend.
Are you knowledgeable?
We're about to find out.
Ooh.
I don't know why there's 2. Wait, why is there 2?
You don't. So you roll 2 d12s instead of a d20.
Yes, I understand that, but I thought rolling the number of dice was based on your proficiency.
No, that's only for attacking.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So they
In that
changed
case,
the way
50?
dice works in general, so it's more of a bell curve instead of just always rolling below 10, you know?
Ring a day.
Fair enough.
And that's
Okay.
why there's this hope and fear process now where you guys can get hope. Like you just got a hope from that roll because that was your hope dice was higher than your fear dice.
Ah.
So that is
Oh.
a very good success. It's not a
That
critical
makes
success.
a lot more sense now.
So like now there's different tiers of success. There's succeeding with hope, and that's like a very good success. There's succeeding with fear. You still succeed, but you know, you just succeed. There's failing with hope. You fail, but hey, you know, it's not the worst case scenario. And then there's failing with fear. You failed. That sucks. Then there's critical fails don't really happen. So it's only really failing with fear.
Mm-hmm.
And we will.
So as you see this happen, you recall a story about a similar environment as you start to realize you're in an ancient battlefield. Whatever is happening to this forest is the remnants of some ancient struggle now having an impact on the earth. You remember one of the elders in your valley speaking of plagues and famines that spring up from areas like this. This is the antithesis of Zephyr Valley. In and of itself, it is corruption, hatred, disgusting, everything about this. And that grass, as it dissipates, just immediately makes you recall all that as you see life dissolve into nothing right before your eyes. And you start to see as this forest is a poison to the earth.
I'm not touching any of this crap anymore.
As these realizations are setting in, and this sorrow, stress, and dread of your current situation starts to take hold, you notice something in the direction of those firefly lights. A break in the dark, drab, dreary colors of the forest around you. Just over the roots ahead, it looks like a few brighter colors. A yellow.
It looks like what, say again?
Some yellows and some greens.
Interesting.
As you explore further, you look down and you notice 4 tiny paw prints. And where these paw prints sit, the forest has begun to heal itself. In the very middle, a daffodil is beginning to sprout.
Is this like right in front of us, or is this further out into the forest?
It's just a little bit further, like over the you're standing probably a few feet away from a tree, and you kind of see it peeking over the root. You're a little far. Oh no.
And then God decided to draw on me.
What are you doing, Poppy?
Why do you think it's so hard?
Are you exploring?
I mean, I'm going to meander in a spiral.
All right.
Just in a circle. All right.
Yeah.
Well, as she is meandering, I'm going to explain to her what just happened with that grass and relay the information you just gave me.
Absolutely. Every so often, as you guys are traveling through, a tree trunk groans, not from age or wind, but as if the wood itself is suffering. And you look at some of the trees around you and you notice split bark oozes, just faint trails of this dark, not sap, but more of a resin. And as you see it drip to the ground, smokes rises from where it lands.
Give me something to burn.
I know you want to go touch that, but you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't.
Well, give me something, and then we can test it on that. I would ask for your shirt, but... Actually, that's a good idea. I'm going to rip part of my shirt and put it under there.
Wait, no. I gave myself a better idea.
You stick it under and you watch as some of that resin drips on and kind of burns a little bit of a hole into it, not fully, and just now you have this really disgusting stain on a piece of cloth.
I sniff it.
It smells disgusting. disgusting.
Blit. Well, I'm not gonna touch it, but I'm gonna put it in my bag.
Still not sure that that's a good idea, but
As
Yeah,
you
we'll
guys
hear it if it sizzles.
are walking deeper into this forest, you've noticed the light has dimmed. Not shaded. It's more filtered, fractured, as if something in the air is bending the sun into ribbons.
Oh,
pretty.
yeah.
But I don't like it.
Pretty freaking sketchy.
Yeah.
Branches overhead are creaking, even though there's no wind, no life in the air. And each one of your steps, they feel muffled.
Muffled. Which,
Yeah, like walking in a church where everyone's holding their breath.
ew. I clap as hard as I can.
You start to see in the distance those lights start to flicker up again. This time, they seem to come closer.
As the lights begin to congregate into one area, can I see if there's maybe some kind of physical representation of control over the lights, like maybe a beam coming from behind one of the trees, or maybe
You essentially want to try to get closer, get a better look at the lights.
yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to see where they're coming from.
Are you going to try to be stealthy about it? Are you going to be climbing any trees? What are you doing to be able to do this?
Oh, I am absolutely going to be stealthy. I'm going to be... Oh, let's see. Can you ping where the lights are?
It's essentially, this background is, when we're in this background, we're using the theater of the mind.
Oh, okay, cool.
But to use a bit of reference, if you guys are standing here and this is a complete forest, this up here in the north is about where you see the lights. So it's about... That is a pretty good distance, though, because I think each one of these tiles is 10 feet, if I'm wrong.
There is a way to check.
Very far is not a unit of measurement.
Yes, there was a way to check.
Out of range is not a unit of measurement.
Never mind.
Out of range is 60 feet, I think. I think you're right. 10, 20, 30, 40 feet. Yeah.
Okay, then. Well, is there a rather sizable tree that I could hide behind and use to disfigure my form?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll a check for you. If you have any experience that can assist.
I don't think I've got any experience for this, but I do have
10's a DC to essentially hide your presence and blend into the area around you. 15 would be a DC to hide your presence as well as get a good look at what you're looking for.
Okay. Would you say that I could use my ability called Lightfoot to have advantage on moving stealthily to avoid being heard?
I think the way it works is you use a hope to add your experience to your roll.
Yes. Which is a +2.
Gotcha. So yeah, it would be a +2, and you'd have to expend a hope to do it.
Get it. It's a community card, which is weird. It's from me being
This
a
isn't
ranger.
Monopoly.
I know.
It's a community card. Go to jail.
Yeah. How many roads do you have?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Very much. All of the roads. Yes. How did you know? Hmm.
Well, I have all the waterworks.
Oh my
Right,
god,
sorry.
all of the waterworks. Win. Anyways, where were we? What were you doing?
Rolling to hide.
Rolling.
Got a little distracted there.
Succeeding.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
a failure with fear.
Uh-oh. So, Clay, you start walking up, and as you do, you press your back up against this tree, completely forgetting about the disgusting resin seeping out from the cracks, and you just burn your back, and you just and you step out, and as soon as you do, you start to see what made those lights right in front of you. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break.
Oh no.
Your nipples attracted them.
As you had tripped and fell after burning your back on that tree, you start to see as these little creatures make their way out of the forest line.
How quickly are they scampering around?
Does
Does it seem like they are panic, like running, or are they more just moving?
It really looks like they're curious. It doesn't really look like they're moving too quickly or in a very set way. You notice as the trees part just enough for pale moonlight to scatter across this giant rock, and you see the moss on it. And out of the little gloom of the moss there, you start to see little puffs bounce between the roots and the branches, no taller than the ground to maybe a deer's shoulder. And as you look closer, you notice they're round-bellied, soft-looking. The ears are so long, they kind of drag along the earth as they hop around. And as they're hopping around, that's when you hear it. That familiar wind chime sound. It's coming from them. And each time they land onto the ground, you start to see as grass starts to bloom and roots start to heal, and you start to see as if the forest itself is almost sighing in relief.
Huh.
At first, it's only
Interesting.
one, faint, pulsing, bouncing, then another, until half a dozen have started bouncing towards you with glassy, overlarge eyes that their gazes just reflect your face like mirrors.
Well, that's
It's an
trippy.
ambush. We're dead.
The sounds they're making isn't like a bird sound or like rustling branch. It isn't like a beast you've ever heard before. It's more like a strange chorus of high-pitched notes, like wind chimes during a storm. Beautiful, but it's threaded with something haunting.
You better tell me not to attack them, or I'm going to attack them.
The
Well, they haven't
forest
tried to kill us yet, so
almost hushes as these small creatures have started hopping towards you, Clay. and one begins nibbling on your boot. And their bellies are glowing like lanterns. And you start to hear them squawking in those chiming tones and flowers springing up in their wake. But you notice as the blossoms are already wilting as fast as they bloom.
Okay.
You notice as one a little bit further away, its belly starts to fade and glow and fade. And you notice as the corruption of the forest around it almost begins to dissipate as it stands near that tree that burnt you just recently. And you start to see as it almost is feeding on this scar magic from the tree itself. And as it drains all of this magic from the tree, you start to see sprouts popping up on its branches. But you hear it make a more strange noise, and the light on its stomach starts to flicker strangely and sickly. Then its glow cracks a little bit with shadow-like veins, and the others begin to move closer to it, and they all press up against it, nudging it, almost protect it. And you realize they're trying to keep it from falling apart.
What?
Wow.
That's interesting.
And you notice
Maybe
as
they're cool.
the glow starts to stabilize and the glow almost transfers to the other ones. And once again, they begin hopping cheerfully towards you.
So,
Almost like children, curious about what you may have to give.
you said just a moment ago that I caught one starting to nibble on my boot.
Yes.
Did I get any kind of look at its teeth?
It looked very basic, very similar to a very common prey animal.
Pet the
So,
fluff. Pet the fluff.
I don't know about petting the fluff.
I can't move or they're going to start running away. You have to be the one.
Poppy, are you just like standing like 10 feet back just watching all of this happen?
I'm like shaking, trying to contain myself from running over there and grabbing one.
Okay.
Because
You
everything
start to
I've approached so
notice-
far has disappeared.
As two of them, as one is nibbling on his boot, the one that almost fell apart has made its way towards you and is now standing right in front of you, looking up at you. And when you look at it, all you can see is you in its eyes.
Oh, wow. He looks so much worse up close. I'm going to pet it.
I really think we should just let these things do
As
whatever it is they're going to do.
You touch it, you start to feel a warmth from it as its fur, its fuzz almost, is very soft, and you start to hear it chime in a sweet, happy tone as it starts to bounce towards you, and almost instinctively you put your arms out and together, and it jumps into your arms, and now you're carrying it.
Yes. Clay, you have to hold this. It makes up for your lack of a shirt. They're so warm.
That thing is going to bite your face off.
My face has been through worse. I can take it. I sniff it.
Boy, as you're watching Poppy, you start to notice the force glows. The little bit of firefly lights or these creatures' lights, as you come to realize in the distance, they've started to flicker and disappear. And you notice as the chimes of the smaller ones, they've started to stutter into a silence as they are all looking at the tree line ahead of you. And a large crack echoes from that direction, like wood splitting, but wetter, more painful. And it steps forward.
I think this is the part where we hide or run.
You start to see
Okay.
peeking through.
I'm
that
gonna hide.
All right, go ahead. You guys can go ahead and roll hiding, and if you
Yeah.
want to use hope for whatever, you can.
Fucking shit. Yeah.
Peeking through, you see a beast shaped like a stag, but wrong. It has jagged antlers with glowing fissures. Its belly is cracked open into searing shadow-like veins. Fur is hanging off of it in patches, and each step, similar to the creatures you see in front of you, leaves something behind. But it isn't flowers. It's smoking scars in the soil. You notice as its head jerks towards you with a sound like grinding stone and rattling glass. Its breath hissing through broken limbs. As you start to hear the gentle bell tones die, replaced by a vibrating groan as this creature is starting to make its way towards you.
Well, we definitely didn't hide.
Yeah, but it doesn't know that.
Don't tell it.
Okay. Here's
Wait,
my plan.
As you're looking at this, you have seen many creatures in your time. Every movement looks wrong, strained. It's like the creature is fighting itself. You look into its eyes, and its eyes are burning too bright. They're fixed on you, and behind its fury, you see something else. It's pleading. You get the feeling this creature doesn't want to be what it is.
Poppy, can you ask the little fuzzy thing if we should kill this or not?
Sir. And I aim it at the freak. Friend or foe?
So you're holding this fuzzy thing just fully arms extended, just pointed
Yes.
like a hamburger at
Yes.
this giant.
And if I can scoop up another one, I'd put both of them.
Yeah. And you're able to scoop them up as you notice these things are sort of frozen as they're watching. And as you pick them up, they feel a sort of comfort in your grasp. And as you point them towards it, you hear them start to chime at it. Not happy, not angry, but worried.
Sounds like a friend noise to me.
Can Clay tell if this mangled creature, whatever it is, the large one, is at least receptive to the calls of the smaller ones?
From what you can tell, there is a confusion in this beast. A confusion you yourself relate to.
Yeah, I'm definitely confused.
Algebra.
parts of it definitely wants to respond in a kind manner to these creatures, and another part of it wants to tear them to pieces.
Clay is going to step a little bit closer.
Bring a fluffer.
I'm not going to do that. I might take a fluffer and it'll see it as lunch.
But you're so soft. I'm grabbing as
Yeah.
many as I could humanly hold.
Just start stuffing them in your coat.
Uh-huh.
As you start stepping closer, you start to see as a sort of fight goes on in this creature's psyche. And you see it fight with itself. And then you start to see its body slump. It's almost a decision has been made.
Can I see any of the like corrupted sludge that was seeping out of these trees earlier? Is there any of that around me?
There is some in the trees, but it doesn't really accumulate. It smokes and evaporates as it hits the ground.
Bad. Okay. So there goes that one. All right. I guess I'll get a little bit closer then.
You got this.
I'm not trying to kill it. If anything, I'm approaching as non-threatening as possible, but I'm trying
You
to...
better crawl like a dog, boy.
Yeah, no. But I am staying on my toes in case I need to jump out of the way.
As you get closer, you start to see, as similar to the trees, this corruption starts to leak out of this creature and drop onto the ground. And then, all of a sudden, it charges and leaps at you. Both of its claws outstretched, and it makes 2 attacks directly at you.
Fucking shit. I knew it was going to do that. I knew it.
Our hubris.
It rolls a 12.
My evasion. Wait a moment.
He's a
Wait,
300. Haha.
Gone moment. No, it's wrong on the Foundry sheet, but it is actually 13.
Ha. Suck it.
Ooh, all right. It's going to go ahead and...
Picking up the fluffy guys faster.
You start to see as it focuses its energy into its belly, and that lantern-like glow turns into a sickly gray as it lifts up onto its back 2 paws, and a disgusting light beam just starts to emit itself all over you.
I know how this story goes. I'm going to kick it in the stomach as it's like beginning to glow up.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll for an attack. Go ahead. You can roll at a advantage, and it also advantage advantage on its attack as you are stepping into the light.
Is that double 4s?
Yes, however, that is not how the crits work for him.
Interesting.
And you
I
just are able to shake it off as you go ahead and kick him. Go ahead and roll a instinct roll as well.
Instinct. So 1 instinct and 1 strength?
Well, an instinct and attack roll to kick him.
Ah, okay. I think the kick would just be a strength because that's my main.
Is that your foot modifier?
Yeah. You said at advantage. If I remember correctly, that means I'm rolling with an extra d6, correct?
Yes. Well, first roll your instinct, because if you fail, you'll get disadvantage and it'll cancel it out.
Hang on.
Don't fail.
Right.
Don't stink.
Instinct. Ooh, okay. I think I have an experience that could actually be useful here.
Okay.
Hey.
It's called Calm the Beast. Like, that's actually what it's called.
Wow.
I don't think that would work with this one because it's specifically like having the instincts to dodge this wave. It's not really beast specific.
Okay. Works for me. Instinct ho.
Damn.
Whoa.
Heck yeah. Go ahead and mark a
22
hope for
with a
you.
hope. Hell yeah.
Wow.
Let me see. Yep, you are good. Go ahead and roll that attack at advantage.
Okay. So that's just adding a d6, right?
Yes, sire.
Alrighty. Let's see how this goes.
Oh,
not bad.
Wow.
Nice. Another gain in hope as you just deck it in the stomach. Go ahead and roll damage.
What would damage be?
An unarmed
I know
attack.
this one.
From my boot?
Yeah, it's a d6 damage.
Okay.
How could it be?
Max damage.
Nice.
Okay. I saw this thing rear up.
So you
and
did
start to
8
glow in your
damage?
stomach. Yes.
All right. He took 2 HP.
You pooped him.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Poppy, are you doing anything?
How many of these guys can I carry?
You can only carry 2. If you put your staff away and you decide to hold them.
How many are close to the big guy?
They have a burden of 1. They are currently like moving away as they can. Just sporadically. Just kind of separating themselves.
Clay! We're
Ah,
like so far away. Clay!
yeah.
I really want to bring some to the big guy, but I
Yeah,
don't
that's cool.
want
Whatever.
him to eat him.
I'm trying not to get eaten myself. Whatever. Just
Well,
stay alive.
you could probably heal better. I'm not as worried about you.
What?
Okay, I run in with my 2 guys.
You could probably get
However close I
about
can get.
right here
Beauty.
with these 2.
No. I said stay away.
Does anyone react to this proximity other than Clay?
You start to notice these things sort of have an ability to communicate, but they can't communicate with words. It's almost as if they're able to communicate to you through their own emotions.
Ew.
And you start to feel their anxiety, but their care, but their fear. And you start to hear as the ones further away from you guys start chiming loudly,
Where am I?
almost as if they're calling something.
So, just a moment ago, whenever I booted it in the stomach, did it like double over back on all fours?
It kind of just took a small step back and now it's on all fours again.
Cool. Once it goes down on all fours, I'm going to try and crack it one right in the eyeball that's facing me.
Okay, just unarmed?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying not to kill this thing. but you know, what happens happens.
I mean, you could get a shirt out of it.
I'm going to go
Hey,
ahead
don't-
and expend one
don't.
fear to decrease the cooldown of a countdown I have currently going.
Poop on him.
Okay.
Quick
All right.
attack.
I'm gonna try and crack him one across the eye.
All right. I'm going to expend a fear to, as you go and try to punch him in the eye, he's going to pounce on you and try to pin you onto the ground. I want you to go ahead and roll a strength check to try to defend against that.
Oh,
Let it
That
happen.
is a 18 plus 3. That is a 21.
I have to beat a 21 to not get
Yes.
pinned, I suppose.
Yes.
All right. Can I use a hope?
Yes. Do you have anything that would help you? I guess the beast, the animal thing. What was it?
Calm the beast.
Yeah, this will be it. As it's pouncing on you, you know how to calm animals and get it to relax and stop fucking pouncing on you. Maybe.
Maybe.
Mm,
The dice will tell.
The dice would tell.
all right.
You'll get a +2.
Okay. Yeeteroni.
Ooh, that's a crit.
Ooh.
That's a critical
Okay.
success. So as it pounces onto you, you find an opening. You start to see as it's coming out at you in that moment in which it's starting to attack you, its psyche flips. The creature that doesn't want to fight, the non-violent side of it comes out, and you take advantage of that moment to step in, grab it by its legs, and now you have it pinned down to the ground itself.
Yo, my moment. I'm coming in with the fluffers.
Alrighty.
Yep.
As you
I'm
get
guessing as soon. Sorry.
you start to hear as these fluffers are chiming now loudly, very loudly, and Poppy in the distance right over this creature, you start to see breaks in the tree line. The forest trembles, but not with dread. A low hum rises, soft as a lullaby, carried on the wind. From between these warped trees, you start to see a colossal shape. White and blue fur, ears trailing long like banners, and its belly like a great lantern of steady gold.
Poppy, I can't see what's happening, but I hear branches cracking. What's going on?
With
Big boy.
each
What?
step, wilted leaves stir back to green, flowers bloom, and its eyes glow with a gentle sorrow, fixed not on you, but on the trembling stag as you see it start to approach.
Don't let go. And don't freak out. But I think the cavalry is here.
What was that second part?
Then it
Cavalry.
breathes. A wave of pure light rolls outward, washing the corruption in the air thin. And you start to feel beneath you clay. The beast is being given a chance to be more than its suffering.
Is it still like fighting me as I am holding it down?
It is, but as you feel this pulse, you start to feel as its fight is giving up almost, as if it's given in to you.
It's beginning to submit. Okay. I'm pretty sure Clay couldn't see anything of what just happened.
At this point, you can.
Don't look.
As this is a towering creature, and as the both of you are looking up, you feel its sorrow, heavy and old, rolling through you. It hurts. It was one of us. And you start to feel a faint flicker in your chest, as if it's sharing this feeling with you, trying to say, the spark remains. Save it if you can.
Well, girl, we're trying.
So, Clay is able to gather that these things communicate through emotion.
Look, Clay hasn't been to therapy.
Is that correct, Joey?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Is Clay able to gather that these things communicate through emotion?
At this point, yes. You have
Okay.
encountered similar creatures in the past where they have a very esoteric ways of communicating.
I would say that that's how most animals communicate. They can't talk.
That's what you think.
So, I am going to feeling that this stag is beginning to release its anger and beginning to submit to me. I'm going to turn my attention towards the colossal creature that's standing over us, and I'm going to project the emotion of confusion and longing for guidance.
As you
For the
do
help.
that, you start to feel a sense of almost as if someone's put a hand on your shoulder and
Big ol'
squeezed
ear.
tightly. And you feel as if this creature tells you, I will take the lead. Breathe.
Okay.
Focus. Do not let the dark take more than it already has. And you start to hear as all of these other creatures chime in unison. A vision of countless more fluffs start to flutter into your view, and the sound of chimes are quickening into a steady rhythm. And you see as the banner-like ears of this creature are almost guiding them, leading the song. And as it raises to a pinnacle, another pulse emits from the creature. Go ahead and roll a presence check for me.
A presence check.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. So, fun fact, I have a -1 in presence.
Oh, you should use your hope to use your calm the beast.
This would that's incorrect. It would be a knowledge, because you're trying to more of comprehend what you need to do to help this creature.
Okay, even better. Spend a hope
-4.
for field medicine.
That would work.
Because I'm trying to help. And
All right.
I know how creatures work, even though this is my first experience with you guys.
He's just a dog. Plus,
dog, deer, rabbit monster
Yeah, don't you have your subscription to Animals Plus?
with field. Oh no, that's bad.
Nice.
That's quite bad.
So you're starting to try to understand what you might need to do to help this creature, but you're just not getting it, and you're pressing into it, and you hit one of the patches of fur, and your hand slides, and you see as a piece of its flesh gets torn off, and it just howls in pain.
Oh no.
Hey, you're doing a bad job.
Thanks. Okay.
I'm putting the fluffers on his back.
It's just like you go
Fix
there
it.
and you go there.
That's what they did earlier. They shoved themselves up against the guy and it worked. So I'm
Go
shoving it up
ahead
against the guy.
and make a knowledge check for me, Poppy.
I am good at knowledge. Haha. So if I fail, it'll be really embarrassing. A baba booey. Hey.
Let's go.
I'm so smart. I'm a science man.
So you notice as these creatures are starting to shimmer and chime, and you put them close, you start to see as that dark, muted, shadowy glow from this creature's belly starts to shift and almost extend itself onto these two creatures instead, and they start to shake and shudder in pain, but you hold on to them tighter, and they kind of nuzzle into your arms, feeling your comfort, feeling you urging them forward, and they continue.
Now call your friends and get more of them.
Ooh, an interesting proposition. Hypothetically, could I mimic the call that these creatures are making?
You can attempt to, absolutely. Go ahead and make a what would that would be a presence check. Go ahead and make a presence check for me.
Okay.
If you have any like jingle bells in your trousers, that would be the time.
Well, unfortunately, the only thing I've got is this thing that you totally nonchalantly slipped into my pocket. So
Yeah. Use that.
Oh, can I?
Well, it's probably more metal sounding and chimey sounding than your vocal cords.
Hey, you don't know what I can do.
Against your sword or something.
A, don't have a sword. B, don't question my methods.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I'm going to use Poppy's talisman on this.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what it does, but I'll use it.
Poppy, you want to explain to him what it does?
Poppy, what does this do?
Well, it doesn't do anything right now.
Oh, okay.
So you just pull
All
out
right.
the talisman and you're just gripping it hard as you go ahead and make an attempt to mimic these sounds.
Well, I mean, not awful, but still success with a fear.
So you're able to pick up on the tones and the chimes, and you're not really able to get into the same flow they are. However, the feeling is still there. You are still trying to heal this creature, and that is really pushing this creature to feel better. And you can feel that in its emotion. You can feel its psyche starting to separate once again. And you start to see as this larger creature moves forward and many more start to surround around it. You start to see as the corruption is fading almost entirely from this creature and being absorbed into the surrounding creatures. And you feel as the fight itself is almost completely gone. And this is where we're going to go ahead and take another break. The forest settles after the Elder's Pulse. Glow, the little tiny spritelings that you were playing with before, you start to notice as they emerge cautiously, some of them nudging you with their bellies, curious about who you are, what you're doing, but they seem trusting. The cleansed hollowling lies weak but alive, and you start to see as all the smaller fluffs are starting to stack on top of its body. It's calm. You start to feel the elder probe you.
Ew.
Ooh.
As if it's asking if you're really here to help.
Eh.
I will.
How dare you question our actions?
No, Poppy. It didn't ask you. It asked me.
It
Um,
already knows my intentions are wrong.
I will put forth an emotion of security and confidence.
As you do so, you see flashes, images. You see you and Poppy entering the forest. You see different spritelings bouncing around you. And you start to notice you're being shown images from the perspective of this elder. And then the scenes start to change. You start to see cages in the forest, half-made chains. You start seeing these spritelings screaming out, these lunafluffs crying out in pain. And then you start to see as they become corrupted and mutated, like that one you just interacted with. But you can't see what's causing it. And you feel watched. That there's danger here, more than simply the corruption. But you can't quite grasp it.
So from these mental images that the Colossus is giving me, I can pretty safely bet that they are asking us to figure out the source of the corruption.
It's up to your interpretation. You notice as the elder at this point wordlessly beckons the two of you to follow them deeper into the forest.
Only if I can bring a fluffer.
The two
think
you
you can
have
bring
in
two.
your arms have not left.
Based. I'll leave one for mobility.
As you set it down, you see as it starts to hop up and kind of like nestles itself in the sort of hood that your robe kind of made because you weren't wearing it all the way. You had it like kind of slinked over your shoulder, and it kind of like hopped in and like made itself a little pouch.
Yes. It's exactly where you can stay. Do I have any food? Are these herbivorous? Don't worry about it later.
Well, earlier
As-
we had watched them like consume the corruption that was leaking out of the trees.
I ain't touching that. It can feed itself. Look, Patty.
As you guys travel with this elder and this small entourage of Luna Fluffs, the land is shifting as you go. You start to notice that these corrupted zones are receding, but there's still evidence of those scars left behind. And as you get further and further in, you start to see sigils burned into the wood, now faint and unrecognizable. You start to smell scorched fur.
Huh.
Well,
We like sigils.
Poppy, you like burning hair and gross things. Go check that out.
First of all, that's only speculation on your part. Second of all, okay. But I'm gonna make the fluffy guy tell me. Fluffy guy, do you have a name?
You hear it just chime at you.
I can't pronounce that.
Well, try your best. Here's a talisman.
Keep the talisman.
Bang it on your sword or something. I don't know.
Okay, I'll call you Joseph. No, that will be confusing. I'm not going to call you anything. Tell me, good or bad? And I point it at the sigil.
You feel disgust in this creature. You feel fear, terror. And you start to feel as it shakes violently in your hand, and it drops and it bounces back towards the elder and away from you.
Okay.
What did you say to it?
And
Well-
as you're looking down onto the ground, you start to see thick, blackened roots, not affected by the cleansing aura of the elder and these other fluffs.
I kick it.
All right. As you kick it, you notice as it bursts and corruption and scar magic seeps out in a massive plume, far more than you were expecting. You are thrown back off of your feet. You land on your ass. You start to see as all of the fluffs start backing away in fear. Clay, you feel as the elder imparts onto you once again those images of the cages, the screaming fluffs, and then the corruption. And you start to feel that this is it. Whatever this is right now is what's causing these creatures pain. This scar and this corruption may have been naturally forming, but someone is mutating it and abusing it and setting traps for these creatures.
So I messed up. Does it look like tangible?
The scar magic?
No.
What flavor is this magic?
It
Scar.
corruption, pretty much rot.
I don't think I can take a sample.
You could attempt to sample the roots if you're willing to get that close.
I don't want to scare the guys.
I'm pretty sure they're already scared.
Well, I don't want to make it worse. I want to have another big boy.
Then maybe it's best we just leave it for now.
What about
I'm
the
sure-
sigil? I'm going to investigate the sigil with my finger.
With your
It's
what?
different from kicking it. My fingers.
All
I'ma
right,
touch
so
it.
you start rubbing your fingers against the sigil. Go ahead and roll a knowledge check.
I totally thought, because your microphone had cut out, like as you were saying "fae," I totally thought you said "face."
I'm just rubbing my face against the sigil.
Well,
I'm gonna
that's
check
not,
this sigil out with my face.
that's not the worst idea, but I did fingers.
I did my fingers. Oh.
Huh.
Technically, is that technically a hope success?
It's a
It's
hope. I don't know if it's a
failure
success.
with hope. So you
okay.
start pressing into this sigil, and as you do, to try to feel if you can maybe go past the rot and feel beneath and sort of draw with your fingers what it might be. As you press further and deeper into this tree, it just buckles and gives as you feel, as you just crack into it and you pull it out, and that dark black sludge is on your fingers.
Okay, knowledge gained. I'm gonna quickly bust out a journal and draw what a sigil to look like.
You were unable to be able to pick up on anything about the sigil.
Yo, this sigil is a bum AMF. This whole forest is balls. It didn't look like that. Stop drawing in the dirt.
Hey, you don't know.
I know what it didn't look like. So by process of elimination, if we make every sigil that someone can conceive. Nah, I would have remembered that one. No. Okay, I'm not that's not it. That's it.
Poppy, as you are
Clip that.
contemplating this sigil, you start to think back to when you were first told about this forest. You have heard rumors about it, and every time you asked around, it seemed as if people were actively keeping you away.
Keeping secrets?
It's as if people aren't avoiding the forest out of superstition alone. You start to get the feeling that they've been told to.
Why am I never in the loop?
Yeah, you're telling me. I just got hired by some creepy lady.
I'm a sexy little baby. You don't know me. Anyway,
You're
this
lucky I don't
forest
quit
sucks.
right now.
You can't quit. Because you're fired. I'm just kidding. Don't leave. I don't want to be
Right.
alone in this location.
Yeah. Whatever. Look, I didn't sign up to cure the forest of corruption. But
I mean, you didn't not sign up to figure out.
I can't help but feel like these little guys are trying to set things right. Maybe we should help them.
What makes you think we can?
Well, the big thing showed me images of caged fluffs. I think he was trying to tell me that that's got to be the source. Whoever is caging these things, trapping them and experimenting, twisting them, I'm not sure. But if we can figure out who's taking them, we can probably figure out where this corruption is coming from.
Yeah. If there's an outside influence messing with my controlled environment, we're removing it.
At this point,
Did it happen to tell you a cardinal direction?
as you guys
It's not you, is it?
are looking around, you have noticed that after that massive plume of corruption erupted, the Luna Fluffs have dissipated. You are now alone in this section of the forest.
What about that one fluff that was like making a home in her jacket pocket?
Oh no, that thing definitely ran away.
Oh,
Dang it.
bummer.
My backpack weighs about the same, so I couldn't tell.
Right.
I guess the only way to go is deeper.
We have to go deeper.
Well, we don't have to do anything. We choose to go deeper.
Fair enough.
As
With
you
you
I
leading
guys-
the way.
propose that we try and find some kind of remnant of the battle that happened a long time ago. Maybe an old tower or crumbling battlements or maybe a marked battlefield. Who knows?
You know what? I'll do you one better. I'm going to sit down for a minute. And what I'm actually doing is I'm going to commune with an ancestor, deity, nature, spirit, or otherworldly being. I'm going to roll
Ooh.
2d6s.
Ooh, boy, we getting some ability cards up in here. Hell yeah, I am excited.
Y'all are finally playing the game.
That's right.
I'm so stoked. All I've done was put a dog in a chokehold and kick it in the stomach. I feel like a terrible human being right now. Let's do some shit.
All right. You ready for this sweet, sweet roll?
I was ready from the moment I woke up.
Oh.
That's a critical.
But were you? Were you ready from the moment you woke up? Can I donate a hope to her?
I'm pretty sure that's a critical, is it not?
No, not in this case.
Oh,
You could aid me
I would love to aid
or
you.
help an ally, whatever it's called.
Oh, I've got a thing. I've got a thing that I can do specifically with helping an ally. Whoa. No shit.
Hey, that'd be great.
I don't have it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're not level 3 anymore. Oh no.
That's okay. Man, what does aid do? I know.
What?
Help an ally. Spend a hope and roll a d6 advantage to add to an ally's roll. That can't work here because it is a d6. Unless...
I mean,
Do
if I'm
you?
spending a hope,
sure.
then I'm just rolling a d6 and adding it to the
Why
total.
not? It's your
Okay.
first
Do
time
it, roll
trying to
for me.
do some things. Absolutely. Go ahead.
Sure.
How were you helping her? Not very well, apparently.
I am farting right on her head. Right on her
How
stupid
could it
head.
be? What are the odds?
Flay
I
walks over.
square up with her head
and
between my cheeks, and I just.
He comes over and he tries to just like lift up your robe and put it into a better position, clean up your appearance a little bit. And like as he bends over to help you out, he just
And you know the worst part is that because I rolled a 1, I taste a flavor plus.
It tasted so bad your microphone cut out.
oh where did she go?
What is? I don't know. She went to Fartland, I guess. Nope. You're still. Don't try that.
You should leave and return.
Oh my word! What on earth?
Oh, welcome back. Fartland
Holy
took her.
shit! Did you have a good time in Fartland?
Fartland consume you thoroughly.
Yes. And while I was there, I tasted a flavor, smelled a scent, or felt a sensation relevant to the answer. And the question is, where do we go to find these guys?
You tasted
a
burrito.
fart.
Yeah.
You smelled roast beef, and the sensation was slightly vibrational against the back of your head.
Crying. Fartland, save me. Spirits of the night.
Oh, my goodness. So, I guess the spirits don't want to talk right now.
Spirits, help. Give me a sensation.
Give me a sensation.
I'll speak in quick bursts, so I can't become a robot.
No, don't.
This is how you talk to the spirits.
Well, I'm not an expert. I wouldn't know.
I'm communing. Show me the way. Help. Save me.
Okay.
Spirits,
Well,
please.
Poppy, listen. I think our best bet might be to try and find any kind of town, local or otherwise.
And chill.
Maybe. Well, more like ask questions. See if anyone else has seen these little fluff balls, or if anyone knows why someone would try and catch them.
Yeah, I doubt they'll know anything. The bad Mama Jama, or they would have probably said something. But if the bad Mama Jama lives there, we can catch him, trip him up, maybe follow him.
It could be any number of things.
I mean, how realistically big is this forest? 300,000 miles? I can do that in a day.
300,001, actually.
All right. We can do that in a day.
That's why it's
Especially
called the
if I ride on your back.
300,001 mile forest.
Yeah. The 50 billion acre woods.
Well, Joe, I think at this point, Poppy and I are going to try and set off for any kind of settlement that we can find.
Alrighty. So you guys start making your way back out of the forest, and
Down.
as you are now once again passing into the more corrupted areas, as you no longer have the entourage protecting you and really allowing there to be a bit of cleanliness in the air around you. You start to see as a pool of water is next to you as you pass, and Poppy, in your interest, you peer over it, and it lies black and still, not a ripple. And your reflection flickers, but it flickers wrong in the water, out of sync, a heartbeat late. And as you guys continue on, you see up ahead a carcass of a deer.
Shirt?
As you get closer, Clay, you notice its antlers have grown obscenely long, almost cracking into its own self and under its own weight. And the air around this creature is humming, and as you get close, you feel your teeth start to chatter and hurt.
Would Clay be able to tell if this is a regular deer or if this is some kind of new species that he's unfamiliar with?
You'd be able to tell, and this would be a common deer. However, its antlers is not common at all. It looks insanely grotesque and mutated.
In
Hey, go
what
touch
state of
that giraffe.
decomposition is the body?
It looks, pieces of it looks as if the body may have only died but a few hours ago. But you see where the corruption has started to take root, and you see as the flesh is gurgling and bubbling and its veins are turning into a sickly black and starting to pulse as its body's decomposition is beginning to hasten under your very eyes.
Sorry.
So
I'm taking
not
notes.
shirt. What if I blast it right now?
I suggest you don't do that.
Convince me more.
Okay, don't do that.
All right. You
Clay is
convinced
going
me.
to Clay is going to approach the corpse of the deer and see if its antlers are loose in its skull, or if it still has its roots.
How come you get to touch stuff?
You go ahead and you reach, and it still has its roots. But as you pull, you notice as they aren't healthy. And as you're testing it, it cracks and breaks in your hands.
Nice.
So
And you look at
That
the
could
blood
mean-
vessels in the horns, and they are black and thick.
Touch it.
necrosis. I'm not gonna touch that.
Touch it real good.
No, let's not. Hey, weird question. Are your teeth itchy?
No, they freaking hurt like a jellyfish grazed me.
My teeth are itchy, and I can't tell why.
It's that freaking deer. Look at it. It's emanating bad vibes.
Well, this poor thing only died a few hours ago.
Oh, great. Which means whatever killed it's still around.
I don't know if anything. Huh. Clay is going to examine the deer's carcass for wounds.
There are no noticeable wounds.
Alrighty.
It was a wolf.
Poppy, I have a weird question.
It's my favorite kind.
Do you have any glass vials on you?
Boy, do I. I have 3, but one is filled with liquid.
Okay. I suggest that you take one of the empty ones, and maybe we should try and collect some of this corrupted blood.
Yes.
Maybe take a sample of the corrupted venison.
Now you're speaking my language, but you can do it because I don't want to get closer to that thing. Catch.
Oh, okay. I'll catch the vial.
Blink.
Go ahead and make a finesse check.
Fuck yeah.
Are you dripping in finesse?
No.
What?
Hey, you succeed, but you immediately drop it onto the ground as you sort of fumble it into your hands, and it plops. Doesn't break, but it plops in some black sludge onto the ground.
So it's supposed to go inside the bottle?
Yeah. Well, next time you could do it. All right.
No, and it makes my teeth vibrate.
And Clay's gonna pick up the vial and kind of flick it off.
As
Into
you
my
do,
open mouth.
It
No.
is sticky and gunky and gross, and it smells, and you try to flick it off, but it's sticking to your fingers. You can't get it off. You rub it on your legs, and it just leaves a black streak on your pants, and it's still there on your fingers.
Make me waste a glass. You're gonna get it all over you anyway.
I'm sure it'll come off in a stream or something. I mean, if you think about it, it's
Welcome
just,
to the
it's just
stream.
blood.
Sure. But if the vibrating thing follows us because of that, I may be tempted to leave it behind.
Right. Anyway, Clay is going to take a sample of the deer's corrupted blood.
All right.
Preferably whatever he can squeeze or coax out of the antlers that have been over mutated.
Absolutely. You can do that without much trouble.
Try not to lick it.
After you collect your sample, you guys start making your way further along, and you start recognizes the bits. You see that patch of ash that was once grass. Continuing on, you start to see the edge of the forest. But you see shapes. It looks like 3 humanoids putting up what looks like warning signs and different type of heralding imagery to sort of try to keep people out of this forest. And then as you guys are approaching, one of them turns and makes eye contact with you. And that's where we'll end today's session.
Teehee.
Alrighty. Let's see.